Welcome back to the Planet Paintball Podcast, brought to you by 1023 Sportswear and Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. I'm gonna jump into it. Got an OG with me tonight. Austin, how you doing, man?
Doing well. I'm doing well, ready to tell some old stories. Your
Oh yeah.
podcast got me excited, man. I saw some of my old friends and I was like, damn, dude. I like forgot about this whole time period.
That's what it was built for. I love telling the today stories, but uh that the period when you started, like '03 to '05, is like where my heart is
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, so trust me, I just started playing again and I'm at the field and I'm like, man, it's just we had the golden era for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um And we were talking a little bit, and we'll get into it, but you left like around '010, which is kind of like the end of the Carolina Golden Era, in my book,
Yep.
anyways, right? So
No, 100. Yeah, it was definitely a chapter closed for sure. And I moved up to the Baltimore.
nice, which is super ironic because I was born in DC and lived in the Baltimore area and came down
It's
here.
also it's also ironic because we grew up with trauma and they were Baltimore, right? But they were always, it was a
Yeah,
North
yeah, and
Carolina
they were
team, so
Baltimore.
it's like a whole synergy of, like, moving around.
Love it. Well, let's get into it, man. Where did this paintball thing start for you, bro?
Yeah. So the original story, actually, my brother was in ROTC in high school, and they did, like, an outing and went and played, and he had an awesome time. I think he was 16 at the time. We're 4 years apart, so I was 12, and I was not a fan. Like, I was like, "Ah, yeah, paintball," but I was not, like, ready to jump in. But being the younger brother, you can never look like scared, right? You have to be like, "Yeah, dude, I'm
Oh,
all the way
yeah.
with you." So, yeah, so there was a field out in Taylorsville, North Carolina called Command Decisions Paintball. It's actually where the Foot of Gap is. Um,
Yeah.
I yeah, Andrew Ferguson ran that field. Shout out, dude. That's where I learned how to play paintball. That's the first time I ever played. And my brother like had an extra gun, was like, let's go run out in the woods. And I was petrified to say the least. And so whenever we got to an area where there was a bunch of people shooting, I just pretended I died and ran away. And my brother was like, my brother found me in the woods and was like, "Hey, are you dead?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm still alive." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And then there was like just some guys like standing because they thought I surrendered. And I definitely did, but I was 12. So forgive me for those guys. I turned around and shot them. And then I was like, actually, paintball is kind of fun. So while I was still scared, we get in the car. My parents were like, "How was the day?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was fun. It was awesome, but I don't want to do it again." And then we went down to Orlando for a family vacation, and there was an indoor field in Orlando, and so I just remember getting there. We just had like, dude, I think I had a Tipman at the time, and like my brother had a Spider Electra, just terrible, starter guns and that for speedball. And there was this kid who was wearing all matching gear, and I was like, "Oh, look at that pro!" He's like, I think the kid worked there. He's probably, it's just some random guy who just had matching gear, and I just remember shooting him while he tried to bunker my brother, and I was like, at that moment, I was like, I want to play this game forever. I like really caught the excitement bug and was like, I'm gonna go all in, and so that's the origin story from like when I got excited, and then my brother wanted to play tournament paintball immediately. He was like all about the adrenaline junkie, like, I want to go play speedball, like get super into it. And so there was a tryout in Adventure Beach, South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Shout out Ellis and Ben Lay. And it was like ground, I think it was like Lesson Zero's like D3 team.
Okay.
And my brother I don't think he'd ever never played speedball at the time. He had an
And went
88 like
straight for the
steel
D3 tryout.
100%, like, let's go,
Nice.
right? Like, but that's my brother is just like, he's like, whatever. So he had an 88 steel tank, like those massive tanks, the Spider Electra, and like a Halo Opera. I mean, this kid was not prepared at all. And so him and my dad went down and checked it out. And then my dad was wearing a suit. So you could obviously tell we had no idea what we were getting into. But then they saw young kid, rich dad. All right, we need to be around him. So my dad got like a VIP spot and met Mike Paxson and like the VIP. And my brother was like, how did you negotiate all this stuff? But little did they know, they saw checkbooks, right, looking at us, even though there were none there. And so, my brother got murdered. Like, dude, he just didn't make it off the break ever. It was like 3, 2, 1, go, done. So, like, he did not do well. But that he just had resistance, kept going. We went out to CPP, the
Hmm.
Carolina Paintball Park,
Yeah.
China Grove. Hell yeah, dude. Tater, shout out, and got on Gravity. And he got on, and Gravity was a novice team. So, like, CFOA 2000, I think it was the end of 2004 or into 2005, he got onto the Gravity team. They were a novice team because it was like rookie and novice were the only two
Yeah.
divisions then. And then I was just hanging out, and like Renee Key and Whit Bernard's dad, Kelly Bernard, and Jason Key were like the older crew of Gravity. They kind of started the brand, and they were like, "Hey, there's like, we've got kids here, and let's build Gravity Kids. Y'all should play." And so it was me, Sarah Key, and Whit Bernard were kind of like the crew, and then Zeke Brown. Shout out Zeke for those of you guys who know Zeke. He played with Lost Boys and a lot of North Carolina teams. Um, kind of rounded together. We were just a bunch of 12-year-olds. And so we played like the last CFOA in 2005, and it was no beginner division at the time. So we played this like rookie tournament.
Yeah.
And our second match was Circus Runaways. So that was really fun. Matt
Nice.
Salsaman and Cody Brown, Cody Green and Robbie and yeah, Kurt just like destroying a bunch of 12-year-olds, dude. Yeah, that was a great time. You had to learn paintball quick. So, yeah, so that's where like that was the ground roots and beginning of like where we got where I got started in paintball. And so I could go on talking about that forever. So it's cool times.
Nice. Well, so I remember the Gravity Kids because didn't you guys have that chain on the
Yeah.
jerseys? Was that you guys with the like
So
the
we went
GZ or something?
Yeah, so yeah, because when we started, it was like this like yellow actually, dude, here's a real funny OG. If you guys watch Natural Selection when they started this short bus, Gravity had these like yellow t-shirts before like they paintball jerseys and stuff like yeah, it was like ragtag. And Jason Key, dude, he never lived it down, but he was the cheeseburger joke. So he like fell running to the corner and like crawled there. And yeah, dude. So that was like, man, yeah, that was a really funny, like unexpected watch when we saw that. And he was not happy about that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, but the Gravity Kids, so to kinda give, like, I guess that, like, arc, Larry Moats kinda looked at us and felt bad for us that we were a bunch of 12-year-olds just getting murdered, and so we tried to create a young gun division in 2006. 2006 was, like, our first real year of playing, as a team. And I think it was us and DC Confidential. And actually, like one of my homies, Derek Zettelman, who's on my team today, I'm playing with in our factory now. I just jumped back into the game.
Nice.
He was like with that crew. So we were talking on the way to practice. And I was like, oh my God, dude, DC Confidential, man. I remember this. They were just like tiny little children with 6 egos back in the day, just like ripping. And it was just such a big grind, like between like that was like such an adversarial match because we were like the only two teams old enough to be a young guns team. And so instead of doing young guns, because you can't really build a tournament around two people, they
Yeah.
created the beginner division. We actually got reclassified to go to beginner, which was kind
Yeah.
of
From
cool. Like
from
back when
rookie
Chris
to
Braille would
beginner.
allow you to reclass, right? Like
Yeah,
apparently that
that's a
doesn't
little
happen anymore.
uncommon now, right? So it might have
Yeah,
gone rampant for a
I
while.
remember, like, getting reclass 100%. I remember, like, reclassifications were easy. Like, everyone was like, "Yeah, I got reclassed for this event." Like, now today, dude, no way. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was pretty fun, man. We had grudge matches during that, and then we had Jimbo McIntyre, who was on the original Gridlock, like the 10-man Gridlock. So he played with Tinker, who you did a podcast with, and his son played with our team, Jay. And then we ended up building out and kind of the gravity split happened, and then we created the PBC lockout or the gravity extreme and then lockout team.
Okay.
And that was like we were kind of like a feeder under the grid, like what was going to be under the Gridlock organization. So we all tried out
Gotcha.
for It was like the 2007, I think we all tried out for the gridlock, and some of us didn't make it or something. I can't remember. We were young, like, didn't know chaperones and stuff like that. Like, it just I mean, you had to be you kinda had to be, like, aware, going off to tournaments as a bunch of kids. It was reckless, no
Yeah.
cell phones, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
if you're unchaperoned, like, you could get into some trouble, and so I think there was, like, a parental element that Jimbo had to be "You kids are, like, good, but we don't wanna throw you to the wolves," you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so, we created the PBC lockout, and that's when we had, like, Paul Spenson joined our team, who was, like, a gridlock kid, went Palm Beach Viper. Jeez, I gotta go through I'm on my APPA, so I gotta go through the names, but, like, Scott Gregory, I remember him popping into our team. RJ, like, we had a bunch of, like, the up and comers, man, that were, like, it was a fun time. Like, it was really cool to be able to, like, build that little crew and have it, and have all these friends that unfortunately I don't really talk to too much anymore, but I ran into, every once in a while when I was still playing heavily, ran into at the national leagues.
Yeah. Well, and so, like, so '06 to '07 is kinda like the changeover from Gravity Kids to Lockout.
Yeah,
Trauma
so,
is
like
on fire during that time.
I'm
Gridlock
sorry, what
is
you
the I was
yeah,
saying
gridlock,
Trauma's
yeah.
on fire at the time. Gridlock is doing super well. Like,
Yeah. It's kinda funny because '05 was the first national tournament. I went to World Cup, so I got to watch in the stands, Trauma win, dude. What an amazing experience, and Larry Moats, this is so funny because Ryan Moorhead actually plays at the field that I'm at now. I was watching a match, and, I mean, I was probably 13 at the time. I was watching a match, and Larry Moats goes, "Here's my ID card. Go run behind the pits over to All Americans. They just got knocked out of the tournament. Go ask one of them for their jersey." And to be honest, I didn't know any of the team players at the time. So when I walked in there, they're all de-gearing. Yeah, it's a bunch of like, older dudes, breaking down. And I'm like looking around, like, and I remember vividly, like, it was special on the team. He had like 3 arm pads, but they were, like, taking off multiple arm pads. I was like, "These guys, man." And then I see this young Ryan Moorhead in the corner, and I go up to him, and I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Moorhead, like, I'd love to get your jersey." And he took it off and signed it, and I was
nice.
and so it was so cool because this was, like, I think his first year on All-Americans at the time, like, so it was like a super sentimental jersey, and I kept it, and, I still have it. I have it framed. I showed him actually,
Oh, that's awesome.
when he came to the field, I pulled him across, like, I'm just a random kid. He doesn't know. I'm like, "Yo, Ryan, come here, man. I gotta show you something." And he's like, "Is it cool or is it weird?" And I'm like, "No, no, you're gonna like it." And I showed him the picture of the jersey, and copped his second one the next year. I was like, "Give me the second one, man."
Nice.
Yeah, so going in that time period of the '06 to '07 when we split, Gravity Kids actually called me and Zeke back, and we played '07 World Cup D4 5-man.
Okay.
They were like, "Hey, we're gonna throw in a team. Let's figure it out." And then we ended up playing, and we won. And that was like a crazy, like, holy cow moment. Like, it was like we must have played like 20 teams in the D4 5-man, dude, running around. What's crazy is we lost this match to, like, this foreign team, and they had, a person like, we were supposed to get knocked out of the tournament, but they had a person who was running through the pits on, like, out in and out of the pits, and they had, like a phone headphones, yeah, like a headset, and so they broke the rules, and then Sarah was like, "Oh, they're breaking the rules," and no one said anything, and my mom, like, of all people, was like, "They're cheating, they're cheating, they're cheating," they got suspended, and then after that, we floored it. We were like after that, we won everything, and it was crazy, like, but I looked at the brackets, and I was, like, looking at it, I was like, Ghetto Smurfs, like, I'm pretty sure Alex Rodriguez, who played on Iron Man, like, Aftershock was, like, on
Yeah.
that team, like, there was some, like, Demolition Kids, there was some crazy teams, like, back then that, like, just not knowing anyone in the National League, like, there was some like, it was some crazy competition at that time. So,
Yeah.
that was like, so that '07 was like the crescendo, the end of the Gravity Kid totally was like, thank you, goodbye, which was a perfect bittersweet moment to like end on, because it was like,
Yeah,
wow,
hell of a way to
we
end it
crushed
though,
it,
right? Like
Yeah,
going
oh,
out on
dude, it
top.
was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. I don't think any of us had any thoughts we were gonna win that tournament at all. Actually, Jared Lackey played on Fracture at that event, played us.
Okay.
Yeah, so shout out Lackey, man. He's a homie for sure.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna crush us, and we just ended up beating them, and it was crazy because what after that match, we were like, dude, that's the team. Like, we got this, So it was kind of wild. But yeah,
And
so
I just
then
gotta say
'08.
real quick,
Go ahead.
Lackey, where are you?
Dude,
You know I've been on you, bro. Come on. It's
yo,
not
all
going
right,
to
I'll
stop.
DM him and tell him to get on here, dude. Lackey's got history, man. So it's so funny. I was talking to him the other day and was like, I traded him because I at the same time that I got the Moorhead jersey, I got a Billy Wing jersey, and then
Okay, nice.
he had an Iron Man DM6, and he was like begging me for it, and he traded me a bunch of missed parts, but I have this Coach headband back when the Louis and Coach and
Oh
like all
yeah, it
the
was the
designer, like
shit.
that was so cool. So I got his little Coach headband. I was like, dude, I still have that thing. I just pulled it out of like my shed. So yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
awesome. Before we move on to that World Cup in
Yeah.
D4 5-man, 33 teams.
Yeah, that's
That's a shit
crazy.
ton of
You
teams.
think about paintball today, dude, and it's like that was nuts. Yeah, we played from because if I remember correctly, and it's been so long, D4 5-man was done in like a day. Like it was a 1-day event.
Hmm.
So we played at like 6 a.m. and we ended at like 10, 11. Like it was dark outside. Like
Uh-huh.
on some of the photos where we're like holding the big trophy, like it was late. So yeah, I mean, we just it was a grudge match all day. I think yeah, if I can remember correctly, it was like a 1-day event. Yeah, it was like 100 teams, which is pretty crazy. I mean, one division. I mean, it's definitely not the same world we live in.
Yeah. I'm going to let you go on with the story now. I just want to highlight like some of the
No, for
stuff during that time frame, man.
Hey, that's a testimonial to Carolina paintball right there, dude. Like, because
Hmm.
I remember like the CFOA grinds, like Gridlock wasn't winning, which is crazy. Like when you think about like the level of competition that there was in that time period, they were getting like third, fourth, some went like it was like intermixing, and then when you go to the national level, it was like Gridlock, 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 Gridlock. You know what I mean? It was like the CFOA local paintball was like just insane, and it was just so
Yeah.
fierce. You really had to be a dog. Like
Well,
yeah, it was tough.
and during that time period, the CFOA still might have been the second largest league in the world at the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Definitely in oh
You
03,
know,
oh 04 was.
yeah, I mean, because Lane Wright's North Carolina too, right? Running the PSP. I mean, like
He's in
That
Georgia,
whole
right in Atlanta.
yeah, yeah, but he was like a CFOA, like he was heavily involved in the CFOA franchise, I believe,
Yeah, I
if I
think so
remember.
at some point.
Yeah, so I mean, like if you think about like it's kind of crazy, like the PSP, like it's like that whole geographic area of like the Mid Atlantic and like the South, like it was almost groomed to like as a vertical stage, like even from like starting in the PBC 3-mans. And I'll tell you a funny story about the PBC 3-mans. That was the first tournament I ever played in my entire life. I showed up to a PBC 3-man, and Travis Moser's dad and Pete Coulter come up, and they're missing a player for Arsenal Dads, and
Okay.
I bought a Tipman jersey at, like, the local store. I thought it was cool because it had the American patch on it, and I was like, "That's a cool jersey. I want it." And so I bought it. I came to the tournament because my brother was gonna play, and I was wearing that jersey sitting down watching people, and they were like, "Hey, are you playing today?" And I was like, "Nope. I have no team." They're like, "You are now. Here's a DM4." When the DM4 was brand new, I had
Nice.
Justin Walls, and I still have this DM4 to today. It's the cobalt to clear fade, or the clear to cobalt fade. I still
Hmm.
have. I'm about to fix it up and try to get it back into restore it to its glory days. but they handed it to me, an NXE pack. I asked my brother, I'm like, "Hey, you got any like extra pants I can wear?" I wore like his like restaurant work shift Dickie pants, and like just ran out and played, dude. So like that was a crazy moment. And after that day, I told Peter, I was like, I'm buying this gun from you. And I spent my entire life savings on that DM4.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So that's another crazy one. But yeah, so sorry, I detracted and took us back in time. So
All good, man. That's what
but
it's all
but
about.
yeah, dude, 100%. And to that like time period, like so like the PVC 3 mans were like, dude, I remember grinding Blaze and Raiden and like all these like awesome teams. And then that, like, when I played the 3 man, like Colin Leary, I don't know if you remember that, like the Authority guys, like they became Colin Leary
Yeah.
ended up playing with Raiden when they were semi-pro. Jocho, shout out Jocho. That was like the Adventure Beach Authority guys. Kyle Spickle played on that team. There was like these two twins, like they were playing 3 man. Like it's kind of weird to think about. Like I remember I was like, dang, it was like ferocious competition. And then you like go to the 5 man and then that's fierce. And then you go to like you go to the CFOA X ball and then you go to the National League. And it was like it was a really awesome system to kind of sit back and look and think about now and go like, man, why were people good at paintball? It's because like you just had this trajectory that was
Yeah.
just so consistent of like talent, 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 and it was pretty awesome. I don't think there's anything like that replicated anywhere. I mean, Hinman with the CPPL and trying to do like that, I think is the closest.
Hmm.
But even then, it's like that model was so dominant. It was kind of wild
Yeah.
to be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a different time. And like, at least like we had this funnel, right? But it was all the CFOA. So
Yeah,
like you could start in the CFOA and then go super high in the CFOA. And then you'd get picked up by like a really good local divisional team or
yeah,
have a pro team.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny. And then that was like, dude, the 15.4, like then the Manus League, we threw in there was like Gravity threw in like the adult Gravity team threw in a 7 man team and we played that like it was like the Manus that I wanted to say it was like EPL, but maybe I'm just jaded because like that's there's a EPL that I experienced later in my life that was a X-Ball league or semi or something in Baltimore. But
Yeah.
I remember there was this league and that was the first time I ever heard about like cheater boards and like crazy because it was like uncapped semi and dudes were ripping and so yeah, that was a really fun time like playing 7 man back then. It was but it didn't feel like real paintball like in the respect of like the serious paintball because it was like
Hmm.
I was bred on that like X ball like 5 man. That was
Yeah.
so it was kind of like cool to be able to experience that at a really young age and like that was it was kind of mad chaos, just like fingers everywhere, tons of bunkers, like total different environment. Like, yeah, there was like, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So that was kind of a side quest. But then getting down, like, so after '07, getting back into this timeline, after '07, going to '08, I ended up playing with Josh Smith, Brody Long, who was on here, Justin
Hmm.
Ainsworth, and we had Costa Nostra.
Hmm.
And so that was like I ended up playing with them, and that was the last of the CFOA ride that I did, period. That was kind of the end. I mean, it was like I think CFOA got purchased by Rob Stollinger in late in '07,
I
right? And
think
then it was
so.
like
Yeah.
all at PBC. Yeah, because it went from like regionally, like, it was, like, at multiple fields, right? Like, you had
Yeah.
Adventure
Yeah.
Beach
I
was a
used to
field, you had
travel a
Rock Hill,
lot
then
more.
it was, like, all you hit, like, different stops on different legs, and then it
Hmm.
became I think '07, it was all at PBC Rock Hill. I think every event was there, and then '08, it's just kinda, like, the money, the recession hit, Gridlock disbanded, the trauma was done. It kind of just everything started to fall apart, and the events just kind of didn't feel like
They
the
weren't as big
same.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a heart attack to the industry. I mean, that time
Yeah.
period was kind of because there was so much like buildup with '07, and it was like things were getting massive, and then it was just this like Like it just,
Yeah, when the
yeah,
economy crashed, it just ripped the rug. I mean,
yeah,
nationally, but like also like locally, like it just wasn't big anymore. Which I get,
yeah,
like people are worried about the jobs. They're not going to go out and play paintball, much less
yeah.
fund a
No,
paintball team.
100%. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, my town, so I'm from like a little town outside of Hickory, North Carolina. So that region, if you kind of
Okay,
know, of
yeah.
77 in Newton Conover is where I'm from. And so, like my town really got hit hard when the real estate crashed. And then it was all like Bassett furniture and all the furniture manufacturer, textile, industry, all the, laborers were there, the warehouse workers. And so all those jobs went away and it really hit my town hard. And so that kind of started the next step on like getting out of North Carolina paintball for me because I was just getting to the point where like I was getting to like good like for the national world, right? Like I was
Uh-huh.
like kind of evolving from the local and wanting to go play more national. I didn't play too much in '08. I played with Norcar Hype. That's the team. I played one local event with, Philip Thomas, that's a homie. He's,
Okay.
like, killing it now, dude, in the political world, he's doing his thing. But then I played a CFOA X-Ball event with Cash Money Killers, and then '09 hit, and my brother went up my brother was in the Navy, so he went up Northeast, and then started building out the Navy paintball. And so it was like, "Hey, you gotta come up here, let's play some tournaments." So I played, like, the GPLs in Maryland
Okay.
with my brother. Yeah, and the GPLs were pretty wild. Honestly, that was a cool experience because that was the first time I've ever seen a tournament format where you had a 7-man, an X-ball, and a 5-man all running at the same time, and you could play them
Oh,
all,
that
and
is
that was
nuts.
pretty it was so crazy. Yeah, and then but they were the notorious because it was like Maryland, so all the tournaments were, like, raining, terrible weather, so it was just a mud fest always, like, it was just, like, this whole historic thing, like, GPL's always had these mud fests, but it was really fun. So I played with Navy paintball, and my brother was bringing in these ringers from NCPA college. So I ended up meeting this guy August who played on Boom,
Uh-huh.
and we were playing a tournament, and one of the snake players on Boom, got injured out right before MAO.
Ah,
And I was gonna go play with Raiden. Here's a crazy story. I tried out for the Raiden. I was gonna play with like the D2 Raiden team.
okay.
And then I wasn't on they didn't take my APPA because I didn't give it to 'em, I was an idiot. I was a dumb kid a lot, right? So I'm like, went to the tryout, I didn't know if I made the team, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess I didn't make the team, I don't see myself on the, like, registered for the event," so I didn't show up to the CFOA X ball, and I get a call from it was either Peter or Troy, and was like, "Hey, bonehead, where are you at? Like, we're trying to register you this morning." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not there. Like, my bad. Like, oops." Like, so I just never went on that team. Like that ended that saga. And then at the very same time, August gives me a call and is like, "Hey, our snake player got hurt on Boom. We need someone to play MAO with us like next week. Like, that's your tryout. Come out and play this tournament." And I was like, "All right, I'm in." And then we won it. And so that was
Nice.
crazy. So I went 2 for 2 for national events at that time. And then, uh, and then I played Boom again, World Cup. We got 2nd place. We lost it because one of the players got a penalty in finals and costed us. And, and then I just had a falling out with Boom because they were in Chicago and I was in Maryland, and it was just
Yeah.
like there was too far of a divide to go travel all the time. So it was like they're trying to get serious in D2. And then I ended up finding Assault was the next team I ended up finding.
Okay.
So I got up, played up in Maryland, played with like Lift and Assault, that crew, and had a great time. We ended up balling out, played MAO again. This is 2010. Played MAO and Cup again. Assault ended up winning the series.
Nice.
So Boom won the series, Assault won the series, and then we went up to D1 in 2011. So we played Galveston. I played the D1 event. That was pretty crazy. And I had a small falling out with the Assault and kind of was like, I don't want to keep playing. And Rick Hartman at the field was who owned PAP, Paintball Adventure Park,
Mm-hmm.
which is where Revo came out of. Rick was like, "Don't leave the field, stay here, be a friend, like play on Revo. Like we're gonna go, like Revo's gonna go all the way." And so
Okay.
I ended up
And
getting
Revo's
on.
D2 at this time, right?
Revo is D3.
Okay.
Assault skipped D2. Assault went D3, D1, and then
Okay.
Revo was D3. So
Gotcha.
I played New Jersey. I played New Jersey and I broke my hand in the event in
Shit.
semifinals. Yeah, dude.
So how'd you do that?
There's a As a video of it. So it was like all rainy at this event, and I was running to like the 25 like can, like the insert can to there were
Mm-hmm.
double snakes if you went to that event. So both sides were snake side. It was like the first time I've ever seen that where the Dorito and the snake were both snakes. And I ran to this little from the can, I ran to this little Dorito and the North Carolina like ag hold your barrel run. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, though.
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dude, hold your barrel run, dude. I know. Cost me my life. I don't do it anymore. So I dove into this mini Dorito and I hit like straight mud so I didn't slide. And I popped up and I punched the ground with my wrist and I broke my wrist in the middle of the point, and I shattered this Geo. It was like one of my teammates. I destroyed his entire frame, and so I was sitting in the bunker just praying nobody's gonna come run me down. I was scared to death, you know. And then after that, I couldn't even bend my hand. I was trying to I couldn't bend my hand, so they looked at it. They were like, "Dude, it's 100% broken." We had to play finals after that, so I basically taped my hand sideways. So if you ever watch the Revo versus it's the Pat Kraft's team at the time. I forget the name, Team No Name or something like that.
Okay.
I was my hand was basically taped sideways so I could hold the Lux like and play. So he beat me, he shot me in my face, and I was like, "Dude, I had a broken hand, Pat Kraft. That's you caught me when I was down, bro. I was disabled. But no, they were a good team, man. They won that event. They were ballers. So that was fun. Then we came back World Cup. We sweeped, like we beat World Cup. And then so 2012 was D2 and we were on fire. I mean, just absolutely as an organization, as a team, we were on fire. Um, and I was kind of like, I got to the point where I wanted to be like that '05 kid, like that, like crazy wild dude. And so I was buck wild reckless on the field and just like no tame. So I was kind of a problem. We go to Galveston on the first tournament and it's a tsunami, right? 2012
As
Galveston,
always.
oh dude. And I mean, like all the bunkers gone. I think it went down to 2 fields. If I remember, like all the fields flew away, the netting and everything, and then they had to take the semi-pro field and the pro and merge it to one to keep the tournament active. They canceled that. That was the first time in my history that a
They
pro
canceled the
tournament,
pro, right?
yeah, it got canceled. Yeah. And so we played Palm Beach Vipers. We were smoking them. I mean, it was like, I don't think we really lost a point on it. It was just like we were way prepared. We would beat them and in the mud. I'm cheating my ass off. I'm never coming at it. Never. And so I run down this guy and he spins on me and I shoot him until I get a major. I'm looking at so the ref was like from Maryland. His name was Super Dave. Shout out Super Dave. And I'm just shooting this kid and being like, never ever spin on me again, which was like, now as an adult, it's like I'll still do it, like, but it's inappropriate, like, all right,
Oh,
need attainment. But I was wild, and we ended up winning. We got I think we got second at the tournament
yeah.
because it was like, yeah, it's a toss up when it's like that much rain and you're diving.
But
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
that much.
if you win it, awesome, but like, you know what I mean? It's like that the game's odds are so much crazier in the rain. So then we had to replay the same layout in
Hmm.
Phoenix because it was like you didn't get to appreciate the layout. So we replayed. And in Phoenix, nobody was stopping me on that Dorito side. It was game over. Like that was probably my best tournament ever playing. So we played Phoenix, crushed, killed everybody, won the finals. I was like my favorite. I've won 2 World Cups, and Phoenix was my favorite tournament I've ever played. Like
Damn.
and it was, the turf was so perfect.
Yeah.
It was hot though. It was so hot. I remember kids were going down left and right, like having to get like IVs shot in them because they were
IVs.
just Yeah, because it was just like, if you didn't drink water, like, you were done. But that layout, that Dorito side, it just I don't know, I just was not unstoppable. It was my and I was just so, like and then all the team, like, Revo as a whole was like dude, Steven O'Mara, dude, shout out Steven. Like,
Hmm.
he was on fire on the snake side. Henry Stentz back in we had, um, Stacy Smith's a OG from Predators. Like, Baker, dude, was behind me. Baker's my homie, dude. 8, Marshall, like, that team, man, the team was special it was really fun, and then so we won that event, killed it, had a great time, go to Chicago
Hmm.
and play. Palm Beach Vipers wanted revenge big time because I put their kid in the dirt, so we played, and Rick Hartman was like, "Austin, you're not playing this match at all," and I was like, "Alright, cool, I get it, like,
We're
I
gonna
should
keep you
not be
safe.
on the field, no problem." No problem. I shouldn't go on the field. No worries. And so Kenny Frank was on our team too on Revo. So shout out Kenny Frank, dude.
Okay.
He's a baller as well. Like, I mean, dude, Kenny's played on Arsenal, played on Arsenal Predators, played on Revo Pro. Like, so yeah, our whole team was squatted. I mean, we had a crazy squad for that. Like, it was insane. Like, but then in Chicago, it was like the last 20 seconds or something left. We were up by 1 or something, and basically Palm Beach Vipers were gonna come run down the field. So Rick was like, "Go to the corner, shoot. Do not let them, like, hang the flag. Like, just don't do anything stupid, no penalties." So I was like, "Alright, bet." And I run to the corner, I'm shooting inside, and I just know, like I mean, I know, like, regions, you know how people play, like, Florida paintball, I don't know, just from the years of experience, they'll send 3 in the middle and then 2 on the sides to clean up. Like, I just know that that's, like, how those kids played. So, I was shooting inside, and when Mayhem was going, and I was just like, "Let me, like, check this thing off." And so this kid's running tape, and I shoot him clean, and we were on their pit side, and so he's walking and grabbing his barrel condom behind me, and I'm just sitting, shooting cross field again because I killed that guy. So I was like, all right, I know the middle's still gonna be hot. And I just start getting peppered in the back of my head and just lit up. And so the kid dropped, his name's Casey too. He's a homie. I like him and I we're homies. So he drops his barrel con, he starts unloading on me. And so I just turn around sidearm and I start giving him the work back. Cause I'm like, all right, it's game time. Let's go. I was bred for this, dude. Matt Saltzman put me in the dirt way too many times in my childhood. So so I started, dude, unloading. I think I had 5 pods on my back, and I just started shooting, and then Carlos Beltran, who was the captain of our team, he's in the back center, he sees this going down, so he runs on the field, like, over to me and basically, like, picks me up, and I'm shooting over this kid's head. It was so bad, dude. It was so bad. We were just ripping each other. Rick Hartman runs on the field, who's the owner and coach, and he has no mask on, so he gets a major. I get gross like, dude, it's so bad. It's like the worst ever that's ever been. It was like, but I loved every moment of it. It was like, yeah, this is North Carolina paintball,
This is
and
what I signed
so
up for.
yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, get ready, yeah, and then and so immediately game over. They're like, grab my gun, they grab my ID card, they grab theirs. They're like, and then Ken Bryson, hey, Ken Bryson's like on the sideline, like he did that to us at Galveston, dude. Ban him for life. Ban him for life, dude. And they're like screaming, yelling, ban me for life. And I'm like, yo, if you're gonna ban me for life, ban Casey for life too, because like
He
it's both
started
of
it.
us. Like we both but the problem was is you know how the refs are like most of the time they're not in the corners, right? They're not like standing
Hmm.
in the corner field. So like they don't see a lot of the corner cheating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like so like all they saw was middle of the field and then they just hear like like all that
Uh-huh.
craziness and then they just see both of us going at it, right? So they have no idea like what went
Who
down or
did
who
what?
started what, right? And so I was getting a lifetime suspension. Done, banned. Like PSP over. Good luck, kid. Like you are done. And the only reason why I did not get suspended, and I think I can say it to this day now, I think I can reveal it now, is Chris
Okay.
Johnson was the ultimate ref. Chris Johnson, North Carolina. If you know Chris Johnson, Dark Carnival, Midnights, North Carolina, Old Head. This guy taught me how to play paintball, Taylorsville, North Carolina, 12 years old. So I go up to Chris, he's the ultimate on the field, and I'm like, Chris, you really gonna suspend me for the rest of my life when you told me to do that shit when I was 10 years old? And he looks at me and he goes, do not say my name, walk away. And I got a tournament suspension.
Okay.
So it turned out it was like, you're just done for the tournament. And so that was a beautiful escape from Revo. I was obviously like, I was like, hey guys, like, take care. I wish you guys luck. But then my brother went out to California for military. And so I ended up moving to California for a year, and I played with Camp Pendleton Raiders and San Diego Pirates right then and there. So
Nice.
it ended up like, yeah, that was a crazy moment. Chicago, dude. Juliet. I don't know. It's not my. I've had bad experiences in Chicago.
Just doesn't go well for you.
It's always that tournament. I don't know that field. Yeah, but anyways, so I get on Camp Pendleton, and I think that like that era, because I got to
Mhm.
experience like run down your face North Carolina. I got to experience sit back in control zone Maryland, and then I got to experience like California methodical paintball. And that was really cool because I got to play with like Rodney Squires, who I really didn't know Rodney. I didn't know his background. I didn't know he was
Okay.
like I didn't know he created, because I didn't follow Dynasty. Like I was not an Oliver Lang like kid. Yeah, I was a
Uh-huh.
Tyler Humphrey kid. You know what I mean? Like I was North Carolina. I was like, dude, trauma.
Yeah.
Like Josh Barton, Jay Wall, like these guys. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be on that team. That people like I was just closed off. I didn't really look at like out in like California paintball at all.
Mhm.
But I knew Oliver. Obviously, we knew Oliver. I
Yeah,
knew
everyone
he was
knew,
the
but
greatest. Yeah, but I just didn't like look into the history of those teams, if that makes
Mhm.
sense, and like try to learn. And so I ended up learning like Ronnie Squires like was like a founding member of like Dynasty, created Dynasty Entourage, built Killers, Rainey, like all
Mhm.
these guys, like Ryan Martin, dude. Ryan Martin became a really close friend of mine. Out in California when I was out there, we played one-on-ones all the time. Like I got to learn paintball in a completely different light. We did insane drills. I think I learned like baiting and like how to like use people, and like I learned paintball in a whole different light. And I got to play. Sean Walker gets a bad rap. I was listening to Paintball Ruined My Life podcast. I forget the guy's name. I love his content. I don't agree with everything he says sometimes, because I'm like, my perspective is Sean Walker was awesome, dude. I love the guy. Like
Yeah.
he made like I mean, when I came out to California, he was like, you're unemployed and you're living with your brother, like you work for me tomorrow. Like, oh, here's
Nice.
everything head to toe. Like I need you to be at my, like I built paintball fields for this guy, like
Mhm.
in all the military bases. So he had like Camp Pendleton was like his premier field,
Yeah.
but like Miramar and all these fields, I built like the military base, like on their bases. I built paintball fields
Uh-huh.
for Sean. He like, dude, he hooked it up for me and like gave me the keys to the castle. Like I remember he'd be like, hey, I need you to go to Valken and go just tell him my name and take my like U-Haul truck, you know? And so I drove out there and they just like bring
And
two
fill it up.
skids. Yeah, it brought two skids. Bring it out. They're like, "Oh, he's Walker's kid. Okay, go." And then I go to the field and he's like, "Yeah, hey, listen, like drop it, but take as much paint as you want. Go." And so Ryan Martin at the time lived like in front of Camp Pendleton. And so I would take the train from PB to Ryan's house, and then we would go to the field together. And then I would take out, like I had the combinations to the the big containers, shipping containers, and we
Yeah,
take
the
out some
Connexes.
bunkers. Yeah, we take out some bunkers, blow them up. And actually, we played that Rainy Stanzak, dude. That guy was funny because he'd be like, "Hey, I'm at the casino. Call me when you're ready to play." So that dude was wild. And Bobby Aviles came out. So I got to play one-on-ones with like Ryan Martin, Rainey Stanzak, and Bobby Aviles, RIP, dude. Awesome human being, bro. Probably one of the nicest guys I've ever had the privilege. And I'm so thankful that I got to meet him and play with him. And probably one of the dirtiest one-on-one players I've ever seen in my life. The dude was nasty. I mean, he was just next level. So we did this like round robin where it was like winner stayed on and you just played. And I just remember I could never beat
Mhm.
him. Like he was just different level. So yeah, no, it was, but that I mean, I got really good at that time and had fun with the Pirates and played with like Brandon Cornell when he was like young. Oh,
Yeah.
so that was really fun. And then kinda ending the story, I guess you could say, of my first like paintball kind of saga. I wanted to play like I was trying to get up the league. Everybody, who's really competitive wants to play at the highest level every once,
Yeah.
in their life. And I got a random phone call from Cody Mikowski, who coached Boom when I played on Boom, out of the blue, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come play with Trade My Gun Outlaws?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And it was me, Cody, Arslan Hussein, Fred Berkeley, and Mike Paxson,
Hmm.
and we played Vegas, and I got to play Dorito side with Mike Paxton. And I
Nice.
was like, and I called my dad and I was like, damn, dude, like talk about a 180 story where everything started at ground zero tryout for my brother and like got to meet Mike Paxton. And he was like this like, oh my God, person. And then to actually get to play with him in a tournament was like probably the coolest run that I ever did. And
And
then
that was 7-man, right?
that was 7-man. That was
Yeah.
that was like the best 7-man. So that was when they changed. So Sean Walker ran it,
Hmm.
and that was when so like hate on Sean, but that's when 7-man had race to 5 split deck. And that was so dope. I mean, you could like, oh man, that was so awesome. Like 7-man's a methodical game, but if you can play it over and over and over, oh my God, dude, like you can, it's really fascinating. It was really fun. I think that was the best. I think from a fun paintball, that was the most fun paintball I've played.
Yeah.
Like I wish I
Yeah.
could
I
have.
wish they
I
had
didn't
done
get to.
that sooner. Sorry.
Dude, I honestly think, like, I think if, like, peak X ball, like, when D3 was playing, matches, like, halves and everything in, like,
Hmm.
'08, if they did that and 7-man, I mean, you like, the level of talent that would have even gone further in paintball, like, just because like, it's hard like, back in the day, you show up to a tournament, you play 3 points, and then you're done, and you're going
Yeah.
home, like, on 7-man, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you go 4, hey, see you, buddy. You played 4 times in it. You practice all the time. You fly out to Chicago, right? You fly out to Chicago, you go 4, and then you go home. Like that sucks, dude. But like when you get to play reps, like, that's what people want. You don't want to go somewhere and
Yeah.
like and play
Play
twice and
5
then
games
be done.
and call it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, no, I loved it. I love 7-man. I mean, that was like when it was race 2, 7-man, and it was split deck, like that was really fun. I had a really good time. And so and then I played one other season after that with Project Mayhem. They
The
were a good
Maryland
team
team?
from no, they were Chicago actually. So a lot of my
Okay.
friends from the OG Boom, like Mike Unger and August and Dybel and like the OG '09 Boom came back. Ryan Redarty and David Braga, like it was a bit of a squad, but they were like trying to build a system there. And so I was in on the early and I played a year with them. And then I was kind of I was burnt out of paintball at that time and I was kinda on the end. I was like, I had my fun and I really was like, I lost the mojo. I lost the love for it, and so I finished that season. I think I played one other tournament with I think I took a year off, and I played one tournament with St. Louis Hustle,
Okay. Hustle.
and yeah, Hustle, and we got worked. I mean, it's kinda crazy to see because like, Cantor's now, like, balling, dude, killing it, and Ryan Redarty, like, killed it, and, like, it was a, like, good team, like, good people, but I was like, we just didn't gel. It wasn't a good
Uh-huh.
event, and we made it by the wild card to Sunday, and I had a girlfriend in the ear at the time, like, "Hey, quit, get serious in life, like, figure it
Uh-huh.
out." So I was like, "Guys, I'm just leaving today."
I'm done. Think I'm gonna
And
go
they were like
home?
"Dude, we have to play tomorrow." And and I was like, "Yeah, keep my gear bag, I'm done. Like, I'm sorry I wasted your time, like, here's all my gear, I'm out." And I'm
Damn.
so mad I did that. I wish I'd just taken the gear bag and been like, "That douche." Like, sorry if I can't use these words,
No, you're good,
but,
man.
alright, alright, alright. try not to, cause any problem, but
This is
I
not
w
a kid-friendly podcast.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
episodes
100%,
are, but, we
100%.
can say whatever the hell we want.
There you go, there you go. But, no, but I wish I woulda kept my gear bag because there's a barrel called a longbow,
Mhm.
and I found this barrel, and it was 16 inches, and it was the craziest barrel. I mean, I would clean it, and I would break a ball in it, and then it would shoot straight, and it was the craziest thing, and it was pure titanium, and this company was like I guess they went bankrupt, like, the late '90s. I
Mhm.
had no idea. I just thought it was a ridiculous barrel. I was like, "Look at me being ridiculous, using a 16-inch barrel." That was the greatest barrel ever. I pray that that barrel finds me again in life. I I'm putting out the energy. I lost my, like, all blue JT Flexes, like, my OG JTs, love those, like, I had a headband, like, the original, like, Jimbo gave me, like, the nice dye headband. I lost
Nice.
that, and, I know I should never get in that
Those
gear
are hard
bag.
to find.
It's impossible. You could never find that. That headband's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, yeah, and so Ryan Collette from Iron Man at the time played on Camp Pendleton Raiders. He I told him it was my birthday, close to one event, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, it was my birthday." He's like, "Here's a dye headband." And so he gave me a black mesh because I always wanted a black mesh. I didn't have one, and I left it in there. And I mean, that's like so sentimental that I was heartbroken. You know what I mean? But like, I had to do that to focus on real life. You know what I mean? Like it was like I had to step away from paintball, and I had to delete everybody and everything to get because I was so I love this game. Like I love,
Yeah. It can
you
be
know what I mean?
consuming
Like
though, right?
yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, there's 2 types of people in paintball. There's like there's like people who are like financially set and like good, and then there's people who like live on people's couches, you know? And and I just didn't want to be one of those who lived on someone's couch. So
That's
I had to
fair.
put
It gets old.
I know, man, I know. And so I'd like yeah, at that moment I turned and so I just like now I'm like post COVID and everything, I'm like, "Man, I wanna play again." I missed it, and I'm getting chubby. I need some exercise. My girlfriend's on me now, like, she's like, "Yeah, go work out." I'm like, "Well, if I'm gonna go spend money to work out, I'm gonna go play. Like, let's go," you know? So I got back into the sport, and then that's how I found your podcast actually, is, like, just like, adding everybody in paintball, adding
Mhm.
everybody, everything, trying to get that, like, all the time that I missed and everything that had gone by around me, and so, but showing up to the field, it's like all the old homies are there. So it took about 6 months of, like, just playing practice to get the rust off,
For the
but
rust off.
yeah. Yeah, but no, man, it's, paintball is, like, the most special thing in my life, man. It made my brothers and I relationship actually, like, go from, like, butthead, like, brothers to, like, best friends, and that's, like, that I mean, like, dude, I'm so appreciative that I found the sport, and it's been a wild ride, and I've gotten to experience really cool things and meet cool people and have fun and shoot the shit out of kids and get suspended from tournaments and all of the above, you know?
Yeah. So you're making the comeback though this year within our
Yeah,
factor.
I'm coming back, man. We're gonna win that D2, bro. I'm calling it now, man. I'm putting it out there, man. So now we
So
have a good squad. We just practiced today, and we were looking good. I was very happy with what seeing the talent. I mean, and in our dude, it's crazy. Like Maryland paintball, like Pap was the field forever, and
mhm,
then the owner of the field he got out of paintball and sold his field, and John Atkins is now runs he, like, built a paintball field out of his backyard in Severn, Maryland, and
mhm,
I remember hearing about it back in, 2012 of, like, this guy who has, like, Wednesday night, like, a field in his backyard, and it's, like, this,
mhm,
like, small thing to see what he's, like, accomplished in that time period of, like, the field now. I mean, Heat's now a home team, I think, out of the field, like, they're there regularly, Tauntauns are like, there's half of Arsenal's in the area.
mhm.
Jesters are there, like,
Yeah.
The Wrecking Crew came down the other
Yeah.
week. Nasty is like, all my friends are on Nasty, like that they're killing it constantly. I mean, there's like so much good talent at that field today that it's really crazy. It's kind of cool to watch. It's like it's not North Carolina back in the day, but it's very like, it's like, wow, it's like a taste of excellence to be able to see in today. Like, it's like, wow, this is a really cool organization that's like came up, and it's kudos to Atkins. Like man, he did such a great job.
Damn, man. So, I mean, you played a little bit like spurting around, like in between, let's say, 15 and now, but like almost a solid 11-year break in reality. How
Yeah,
has
I
the
mean,
game changed?
yeah, so I got a call, like a friend called me 2019. I think 2015 was 2015 or 2014. Let me just pull up the APPA so I'm not wrong. Hold on a second. Let's get the facts here.
Get the facts
Um,
straight.
so I played 2014, I played one event with Pirates, and they did the merger with Scottsdale Elevation. So Scottsdale and Pirates came together, and we played MAO. And I don't even remember how that conversation came about, but I was like, whatever, I'll play a tournament, like whatever.
Hmm.
And we did terrible. And then I was like, that's cool. I don't need to play again for another year. And then I played on St. Louis Hustle, sorry. And then that event went bad, and I was like, I don't need to play again. And then Breezy, Trevor Reagan from Boom and Aftershock randomly hits me up and is like, Sets, bro, you're a baller. I'm playing on War. Come play with us. And that was when they created the W. And this was like the first,
Mm,
I guess CFO, sorry, not CFOA, but PSP crashed. I don't know. I wasn't there when the last PSP died or whatever. That I don't remember when that
yeah,
thing
yeah.
happened because I was out of it. And then I played the event and there was a big W, and I didn't do too great. I think the team was just like, hey, we don't need to bring a ringer in. Like, we're just gonna finish the tournament on our own and just go home. And I was like, more power to you. Like, I'm not fighting for playtime. And I didn't like the W. I really didn't like the W.
Yeah.
I thought someone was gonna get hurt, and someone did get hurt.
Someone did
And
get
so
hurt.
and ironically, Chuber, who was on Revo, was the one who did it. And I feel
Hmm.
bad for Chuber because like his brother got shot in the eye, and it was like not a man, that guy, like, yeah, that was hit him strong because like he had that experience happen to his family. You know what I mean? So like not a fun, but I just knew that W was not good, and I did not. I don't know. I just something in the back of me was like, you're already like, I'm already out of paintball, and I don't want to play that. I just didn't want
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I had no interest to just run up the center and just do run throughs all day. Like, I love to run through people all day. Like, trust me, but like barrel to
Yeah,
barrel,
but there
like
used to be like a
every point.
skill set to it, right? Instead of I'm going to run
Yes.
to the 50, run around the 50,
Yeah.
bunker a
Yeah.
dude, probably get shot myself and
Yeah.
go off. And we're playing 4-on-4 paintball and
Slide
it's
under the A.
10-second
That's
fight.
rare.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. If you could
100%.
pull a slide under the A, like that took some talent and a little luck, right?
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to
No,
get it done.
100%. 100%. I wasn't vibing with that W. I just didn't. It just wasn't for. I was like, nah. And so I stopped playing. Mayhem called me back. I don't even remember playing that tournament, to be honest. I think they flew me to Dallas. No, Atlantic City. It was Atlantic
Atlantic
City.
City.
They called me, and I was just local, and they were just like, yeah, you're close, you know? So 2017, then fast forward 2019, one of my friends is like restarting Justice
Oh.
and DC Justice, which was like a team out of Pevs, their origin story. They were
Hmm.
like a pretty good, I think they're a 10-man team now, like some of the original guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they started a team and they called me and they're like, yo, Sets, come play. Like, hey man, like, let's do it. So I was like, hey, that's cool. I'm gonna play, but I'm not gonna practice. I'll just show up to the tournament. And we 5-0'd CEP. Yo,
There
what's
you
up?
go.
What's up, CEP? I bunkered Colin Cherry so bad and just looked at him and was like, fuck you, Colin. And then I realized I hadn't played in like 10 years, so he didn't know who I was. So he just was like, why is this random kid mad at me? So if Colin watches this, dude, and he realizes like 2019, some random kid just stuck him and was like, "Fuck you." That was me, bro. I was like, "I remember you, bro. I remember everybody."
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, yeah. And then I moved to Florida for a year because I was working on a contract out there, and I was like, yeah, maybe I want to play, maybe I don't. And I hit up because the only person I knew was Ken Bryson, and I hit up Ken and I was like, hey man, I want to come play, and so I played I was like ranked D4, which is I'm ranked D4 now, which is like crazy
Mhm.
because I'm like, ah, dude, I'll take that all day. But I
All
never
that
really
time
played
off.
like the entire, yeah, that, and I never played full series. Like I always play
Mhm.
like 3, like I never played like all 5 events every year. I always played like
Okay.
2 or 3 or,
Mhm.
events 'cause I just didn't have time, money, and like, and I always like keep my APA
Yeah.
down. I like to win and like if I'm gonna play on a team, I wanna
Hey,
play on a serious team, you know what I mean? I don't wanna just play a bunch of
that
like throw together or like figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, because I play to win. Like I don't wanna, I don't wanna get out there and just like, you know, mess around. I wanna like if I wanna be structured, organized, like, let's go.
Mhm.
Nah, but I played crazy. I played with like Max Rooney. Like Rooney's now like aftershock. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
dude, it's kind of crazy. I'm doing this thing now where I'm going to every single dope player that I've ever played with and asking for a jersey. And like I'm
Nice.
trying to collect, yeah. So instead of just doing the jersey collections for the jersey collections, I really want to get like the people who influenced my life and the people who I played with. Like those are the jerseys that I want. And I want like prime time of their lives or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's really cool. So I've started my collection. I have some pretty rad ones. And so yeah, I want not to say I want a Max Rooney, but I hit him up and he was like, "Damn, that was like my first D3, X ball event ever." And I'm like, "It's crazy. Now
Mhm.
you're pro, man." So it's kind of cool to be able to like I've played with a lot of cool against and with a lot of cool people in paintball.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. And so yeah, so that's the story. And now 2026, man, D2, let's go.
So, what do we think about like the like how the game's changed or has it changed in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an X ball guy, dude. I like bring back the penalty boxes, bring back the coaching on the sidelines. I think that the individual talent of kids have gotten better over the years, like running and gunning, like more like lower divisions, shoot straight, right? Shoot lanes, like communicate better. I think the individual skill of people. I think that there's a loss of like paintball is not the most intelligent people on earth often. You know what I mean? Like we're not like rocket scientists out there. So like not having a coach, you can see more bonehead moves out there. I know there's this like big push I like the different bunker styles. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? I like kind of like the 7-man inclusion. I don't think you should have 7 massive bunkers in the middle of the field, and like
Mhm.
like it's just like 8 massive bunkers in the middle of the field that 50 people can hide behind. Like it
Uh-huh.
slows the game up. So if there's this like conversation of like, hey, we want to make paintball faster because we slowed it down. I think limiting people's paint's kind of weird. It's like, how about we just like bring back coaching or rate of fire or make the bunker
Mhm.
smaller and increase lanes, like all those things that made it fast. Like, why don't we go back a couple pages onto that? But
Oh,
overall, I don't know. I mean, it's easy hindsight 50-50 to look back and go like the world we had, it's just not the world that exists anymore. Like I was talking to someone
yeah.
today and I was talking to a younger teammate and I was like, bro, like you got to think about like back when I first played, like we were like 12 to like 20-year-olds and we would go on a
Mhm.
weekend to a rural town in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina or wherever, and we would cause mayhem for a weekend and have fun and then go home and thank God we made it on the plane or made it in the car and we
Mhm.
got back to our house and like we're safe. Like it was the carnival. Like it was literally like the
Yeah.
freak show. Like there was this mystique and like you discovered paintball and it was a community and a crew and like there was I don't feel that culture anymore. I don't
Okay.
like I don't, you know what I mean? Like am I
Yeah, no, I do.
have you know what I mean?
I mean, when I started playing, so like when I was really heavy into the CFOA the first time, I was like 15, 16. The old guy on the team was like 24. And I thought he
Yeah.
was so fucking old.
Yeah.
And in
Yes.
hindsight,
Yes.
it was like a bunch of us like 14 to 16-year-olds and this 120, like maybe 3-year-old rolling
Yeah.
around the southeast doing God knows what, getting hotel rooms, getting up to shenanigans, and then returning home and acting like everything's normal on Monday morning.
Yeah. Yes. And then how do you describe that to your friends in high school? What did you do this weekend? I had an amazing weekend. Like, you'll
Oh
never
yeah,
know. Yeah, I
they didn't
know.
know it. And the fun part was like that was from like rookie up to amateur, like you could get it all in, and it was just, or D6, I guess,
'Cause
to
it was the
D3
carnival, it was
now.
the freak show, man. Everyone was there. Yeah, we were all
Yeah.
friends. It was like family. Like, dude, I mean, like, like all the CFOA refs. I remember back in the day, dude, Walker, man, this ref
Hmm.
Walker who played on XSF, man. He like I'm telling everyone's garbage now, like, dude, I was like 12. He came to me, it was like I vividly remember this. It was like the indoor Tennessee field.
Yeah.
And he came to me to check. He was like, he came up to me. I'm like, he's like, I'm not checking you. He's in this bunker over here. It was so unserious. You know what I mean? Like, when would that happen today? Like, and then I remember like being the kid, then like the stories were like, oh yeah, you like played a game and then you ref the next game. And then you like
Hmm.
all these like cheater rules because if you needed that team to like get knocked out or all this stuff, like it was mayhem. It was just absolute chaos. It was organized chaos, and that was like that culture was so much fun. I remember last call guys, like,
Hmm.
vividly drinking heavy at the event, not caring, having a blast, like, just living their life, like, oh, man, like, I that just was paradise. So I think in my heart, I seek that every time I play,
Hmm.
which is why I took that time off because it was like I never got that fulfillment. I was too young to be old enough to be like, know it. Like, you
uh,
know what I mean? Like, to know that good time. And then it's like, now that I'm at that age where it's like, it's my turn. It's like it was taken away.
hmm.
And it's
That's
not
awesome.
fair, man. You know what I mean? So like, nah, but like, yeah, dude, I don't think that'll because it's just phones and everyone has something to lose and like you gotta be perfect all the time. I don't know. It just like, man, it just outside of the game of paintball, like you were asking me, like, what's the sports change? I feel like it's just gotten too buttoned up. Like,
Hmm.
I feel like this idea that we want to put it on TV. Who cares? Like, yeah, it was cool. It was on ESPN, but who cares? Like, paintball's for the people. Like, who's gonna watch paintball are the people at the tournaments. Why are we not letting them be able to shout and cheer and counter coach and coach on the
Hmm.
side? Like, it's for them. It's for
Yeah.
the show is for them. Why are we sanitizing it and pretending like, you know, it's not it's the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the leagues, I didn't like, dude, man, there used to be, like, you win 5 DM6s, and it's like
Hmm.
you paid, like, $300 to play a tournament
Yeah.
or, like, $1,000 to play a tournament, you won 7 grand, like,
Yeah.
just the delta, it's just not the same game anymore, and
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, man, I don't know if it's a bad thing, if I'm just the old guy, I'm like the old guy back in my day, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel old, you know? But to your point, you're like that 23-year-old was old as hell, man.
Yeah.
You
And here
know?
I am still doing it well over
Yeah,
that age.
exactly, exactly. I don't know how to answer that question because the paintball that I fell in love with, like, that will hold a sacred, place in my heart for sure, for real, and the paintball today is fun. I do enjoy, like, man, I was killing it today. I had a great day today. My team was doing good. Like everyone was fun. Like it was a good day. Like it was a fun day. It's just different and not bad, not negative. I just wish Keely Watson was still running paintball. I just, like, sorry, Tom Cole, bro, but like,
Bring
yeah,
us
I
back,
like the
Killy.
paintball. Yeah, dude, I'm a Sean Walker fan, dude. Listen, start a war over here, bro. But I mean, like, but I'm just, yeah, I don't know, man. I like that rough and dirty. I like taking 15 to the neck, walking off the field, your pods are dirty and stolen, and you can't wipe your hits. It's 90. Like I wish I would have gotten to play like a full real season of X ball, open X ball when it was in its heyday, and I just wasn't old enough to really get to play it. And
Yeah.
then I was like right at the heels. I was at the heels, the cup,
Mhm.
like let me in the door. And then the recession happened when I was prime time,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, so that's me, bro. That's my feeling. What about you? I'm curious. You ask a lot of people.
I
How many
do.
people ask you your thought?
I feel like it's the field layouts have gone more 7-man,
100%.
and I like 7-man. Like, I actually like going back and watching 7-man, like, matches.
Yeah.
Like, I think they play really well, but I think you need the longer field for it.
Yeah.
No, I would get rid of a lot of the big shit. I want at least the A back, if not the X for the pro field. I feel like fan participation is fun, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't have like a part of the team out in that crowd. Back in
Yeah.
the day, we used to hold up the numbers like
But yeah,
3
dude,
guys
snake
left, and then
one,
you like
snake
throw it
two.
down and
Yeah,
like
dude.
4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go back to a pro event and have Thomas Taylor tell me to shut the fuck up because I'm counter coaching him. Like that's a highlight of my childhood, So I'd love to see crowd participation, at least on the pro field, right? If we're going to have coaches coach, I think we should do what the college league used to do, and they got to be on the field.
Oh, yeah. I thought that it's funny because I actually coached California.
Okay.
I don't know how it happened. I can't even remember the event. It was a World Cup. I don't know. Maybe it was World Cup. It was like some random thing. I don't know. Some kid was like, it was Long Cow or what's the team? What's
Long
the
Beach, right?
Long
Houston
Beach?
put
Yeah,
it
it was
as
like
a
Long
team.
Beach. Yeah. And they were like, we need a coach. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. I hadn't known none of these kids. And I was coaching. And I was like such a devious person too, because my guy would be in the snake 2. So I would walk back to the snake 1. So they start shooting as a snake 1. Oh, dude. I was a G, dude. I was a little menace out there. I don't know how I got hooked up with them, but yeah, I did that. And then Chris Lasoya was like, "I'm gonna coach him in the finals," and I was like, "All right, cool, dude." I don't know these people. I was like, "I have no idea who this team is. I've never heard of these guys. I don't know how that." It was just the weirdest, like, it just I don't know how, because my brother was the Naval Academy, so
Uh-huh.
I coached Navy paintball
Okay.
for a while, yeah, for a while, and when the Davises brothers were at the Liberty, I was coaching
Uh-huh.
Navy paintball. I'll never forget. Here's a funny little side story. So I was at the Liberty Open tournament when they were playing, and actually, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 guys from QCK. Shout out Justin Carney. Hell yeah, dude. Those are homies. But some of the guys from QCK, Brian Vassman was out there, dude. Were playing at like Coastal Carolina, I think it was the
Mhm.
event. And then Navy was playing, and then Liberty was playing. So I was coaching the Navy team, and then I was heckling like Liberty. I was like talking shit. And this one kid was like, "Oh, if you're not good enough to be out here, what are you talking? Like, why aren't you on the field?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm 16. I'm in high school. I can't even play if I wanted
That's
to."
awesome. Yeah. Not fucking Dookie Howser here.
Exactly. I'm not old, bro. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, that's good
Oh,
times. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree
well,
with you completely. I think if we do the 7-man, make it 7-man, because it's to me, I think, to close out, because we had a great conversation. If you want
yeah,
to
man.
end out, I think we've taken the worst parts of 7-man and the worst parts of X-ball, and we put them together instead of
Yeah.
the best parts of 7-man and the best parts of X-ball. That's my true honest feel for it. We have like 10 balls per second ramp, and it's 5 shots. Like, come on, dude, give me like 3-ball round burst, dude. Where's the PSP mode? Like, let me be able to hold a lane. Like, dude, where's that? Yeah, like the
I
big
do want
bunkers.
the
Where's the
penalty
car wash?
boxes back. I want the penalty
Yeah,
boxes
bring a
back.
penalty. Yeah. Why, that's also, why are these points, like, why are these teams having 1-point matches? I don't know, because it's margins. Like, think of, if I lose a point, I'm fucked. Like, trying to come back,
Mhm.
it's a horrible situation. Make points less important. That's,
They
if you
did that
want
this
more
year.
games. Yeah, Yeah,
So it's
but
only
it's like
points scored that are counted. You don't get anything counted against you. So now you don't have to worry about margin. You got to worry about going out there and scoring points.
agree. Yeah, that's what it need. Like, take away the like. When did cheating become like this crazy thing? It used to be a skill. Like, if you were good at it, like it was an added skill to the game. Why is this such a hated thing? Why are we taking padding out of jerseys? Why, like, I want to look shredded on the field. I don't want to look like fat. You know what I mean? Give me some muscle.
Give me
You know
the
what I
whole
mean? Remember
costume
those
back.
'09,
Yeah.
09 dye jerseys
It
where
was
you
like,
just
poof.
freaking arm. Yeah, bring
It's
that
like you had
back.
shoulder pads on.
Yeah, we got technology. Let's see how fast these hoppers can go, dude. Let's put a freaking like, let's make it quicker. Like, let's shoot 35 balls a second. I want to see that. Like, it's almost like I think a guy was like, "What if we make like the juicing Olympics?" Like,
Yeah, yeah.
we have all this. It's like the technology's gotten better, but we've like hindered it way more. Like, I want to see it go, dude. Like running wild back in the day, dude. '05. Like, have you ever watched like an '05 CFOA video where you just
Yeah.
listen to the guns and it's just like those Matrix caps? Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just sound like,
Yeah. They're roping 30 balls minimum.
yeah, dude, they're cranking, and then they're just bunkering each other, just cranking like casually 35 balls a second, dude, as fast as the loader, the Halo. Like, I remember Boost Halo, or the guy like had the
Yeah.
modded Halos. Dude,
I had
let's
forgotten
live
about
in
the
that
boost
world. I
halo.
wanna live in that world.
You know
You
what? I
know,
want
bro,
the
but the
junior velocity back too. I don't know
yes,
why JT is trying to make this triad shit. Just give us the junior velocity again. Like
yes,
that's what we want.
and multiple shells, that's, like, literally, dude, I would jump in dumpsters and pick up broken Halos and put
But
them
yeah, and you
back together.
take them.
Yeah,
You
and,
grab
like,
two and you got
glue the
one.
bottom and yeah, and repair them and sell them. Like, I like, how I played paintball was, like, I either won the tournament and had a little bit of money or, like, tried to be a little, like, dumpster diver and, like, pick up these, like, dude, you can't even do like, yeah, man, you can't even do that kinda stuff. Like, I remember, like, the olive halo was so cool with the
Mhm.
pearl white, like, the clear, like, oh,
Yeah.
man, like, there was so many cool, like, it's as advanced as we have gotten with all these, like, custom HK Army is, like, ahead of the league of, like, customization and, like, all these colors and designs where you can really, like, tell your style. What happened to paintball hoppers, dude? They used to be so diverse, like,
Yeah.
you used to have so many different options. Like, to your point, like, the juniors, like, I remember, like, I had that, like, pewter blue one, like, really
Hmm.
cool, like, yeah, man, loved it, like, yeah, man, like, that, like, it just seems to have gone sterile, like, it's, like,
Yeah.
black is, like,
Yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah,
just
you
black.
know what I mean? Yeah, and it's, like, cheap plastic. It's not, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I appreciate I don't have to unscrew 8,000 screws on my Halo and
Yeah.
my Halo battery door not breaking every day. I love those advancements,
You
but,
just take that thing up
like,
right away.
let's get back, yeah. I remember Zeke Brown one time, he invented, like, the speed feed for me because this was, like, we ripped off, like, the Halo, like, the lid, and then he would
Uh-huh.
go to, like, Home Depot and buy those, garbage disposals, stick
Yeah,
ring,
yeah.
the little ring, and then
Uh-huh. And then you crank it
cut them,
down with a
and then
thing.
yeah, and then super glued them around the lid, and, like, that
Mhm.
was, like, that was the first speed feed I ever had.
That's
Talk
awesome.
about dude, we were little, like, engineers back in the day, man. I couldn't imagine, like, a kid doing that today, dude, doing some, like, crazy, like, modification, like, the trauma cut. This is also a second on paintball. I have a beef with GI. Okay, GI, you had the prototype in front of you for the Profiler 2. I'm just gonna say the one you made, it's the mark, dude, the trauma cut, soft ears, it was in front of them. It was in front of their face. They had it. I don't know what happened. It was there, dude. It was there. It was meant to be done. Maybe now they'll hear our podcast
Ma- ma-
and they'll go, "You know what? We did miss the mark."
We want the
Okay.
trauma cut.
The
Everyone
trauma
from
cut, dude.
Georgia to Baltimore is going to buy the trauma cut if you release it.
Everybody. Oh, they'll sell out. Yeah, I think everybody on the market because it was the little, like, low profile, like, they
Uh-huh.
cut off all that, like, excess, and then they cut the whole, like, I remember they cut the visor lids, which was hindsight dumb because anytime it rained, you were just screwed. Because like straight holes, like it was literally like you were getting rained in on, dude. It's not. Yeah, oh, dude, I could talk about this stuff all day. Yeah, but yeah, 100%. It's been long enough. It's been long enough, bro. I think I've gotten so many. Everybody I've forgotten, I love you, and thanks for making my paintball memories. I mean, there's so many Callahan, Duluth. There's so many North Carolina, Scuba Steve. There's so many people in that made my childhood awesome. So thank you all. I appreciate it. Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in to the Planet Paintball podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whether you're out there grinding in the divisional pits or chasing dreams on the pro stage, remember, it's all about the passion, the hustle, and the love for the sport. Until next time, keep grinding, keep growing, and we'll see you back here on the Planet Paintball podcast